I'm finally here. I am so sorry. Everything at the last minute. Anyway, hello everyone. Post Thanksgiving. Is everyone stuffed with turkey? I'm actually going to go to my daughter's house this evening and have turkey with her. She was up at her wonderful in-laws, and they came home yesterday. Pardon me, let me get my camera a little straight. And I felt like I was too far away from you. But she was up at her wonderful in-laws in Pennsylvania yesterday. They drove all the way home, and then no sound. Hold on. No turkey for Diane 57. Can you hear me? I hope now. Should be good. So she was up at her wonderful in-laws' house. They drove all the way home. And then she said she wasn't ready to be done with Thanksgiving meals, so she cooked it again, and then they're going to eat on it all week. So she said, "You want to come over?" And I went, oh yeah, I'm there. Because Mark and I, as close as we got to Thanksgiving, is I made him a pumpkin pie, and I made myself an Italian cream cake. That's all we did. But I have a perfect excuse for you. So hello, everyone. It is so good to see you. I do apologize for being late. I checked the email and found a bunch of pictures from Miss Nadine, and she's not going to be here today because it's her birthday. Happy birthday, everybody. Join me in wishing Nadine a very happy birthday. What a sweetie pie she is, and I don't know what this group would be without her. So happy birthday, sweetheart. And I'm tickled that you and hubby are putting down the electronics for the night and just having fun with the two of you. So very, very happy birthday, sweetie. And then I went and took pictures of my Mark, and because wait till you see what he's doing. But the problem was I hadn't downloaded them yet. I thought I might be able to try to sneak and download them while I'm talking to y'all. But then I didn't have a memory card for the video camera. So anyway, I said, so I do apologize. Your time is valuable to me. So I am so excited to see you. And let me show you my hands. Some of you who belong to our group might know why I have this paint on my hands. Oh, don't you love Italian cream cake? I just took a box cake mix and added the pudding and the ingredients. Best way, I think, to make it. So it's easy, quick, all that good stuff. But anyway, I'm so glad to see y'all. You do not know how much I look forward to my Sundays here with you. So today what we're going to do is, as you see, in the middle of, we're redoing our whole kitchen. So in the middle of redoing this kitchen, I said, I've got to get my landscape quilt done. So Italian cream cake is just, I mean, who doesn't like cream cheese? And then it's coconut and pecans. Hello. I mean, I could live off of all of that. So I had my first coconut cream cake about 10 years ago, and then realized, where have you been all my life? And so every day I have my little piece of it at night, and I'm so happy with it. All right, I will tell you about my week. Okay, I got your packages out on Wednesday, and that's probably going to be our last one for quite a while because, you know, it costs a lot to ship, and I don't blame the post office. I mean, they're doing the best they can, and it's certainly cheaper than me driving to all of your houses. But I think we're just going to have to figure out a different way. When I first started this and got the packages, I thought, I'll make a little money from YouTube. Well, I'm not making anything on YouTube. Maybe I can try to figure out how, but I think all that is kind of in the past tense. I don't know how people do that anymore. So, but it was so much fun. And I wanted to thank Cheryl, and I wanted to thank Bonnie, and I wanted to thank Diana Wright. All of y'all send so much, and it's wonderful. And I feel like a Santa. So I really enjoyed it, and we'll just have to see where it goes in the future. But it made my heart very happy. You should have seen me. I think I mailed 18 packages. And I went into the post office with a laundry basket over full. And I know she thought, oh, great, thanks. Come to me. But she was really cute. She was a nice lady. So that was a joy for me, and I was happy to do it. And thank you for the ladies who made it possible. So, and Pineapple Fabrics for their contributions. So that was absolutely lovely. So anyway, so I was wrapping and trying to get those ready and making sure I had last minute addresses. I forgot Cheryl Lemon moved, but we'll work on it. But and then so I did that Wednesday. I went to the post office and dropped those off. Then I went to go get my sewing machine, which let me turn her on and see. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but lately my old girl here, I've had her 14 years. She has, now I'm just making you queasy. But she has been making a lot of noise when she ran. And I noticed things like I'd have to push the thread cutter button 3 times to get her done. And so, let me turn this back. So anyway, when I knew I would be going on my retreat and I wouldn't need her, I took her into the shop and had her get a spa treatment. And it cost money to get a tune-up for a sewing machine. A little more than I thought it would, honestly. But she works beautifully. She sews. Let me show you some of her stitches. I'm just so proud of her. But let's see if this will focus in just a moment. There it is. Look at those beautiful stitches. And listen to this. I'm going to show you just how smooth she is, because she's just amazing again. And it was an Elna 7200, and I remember it was my very first second new machine. And I got her to use on a new Joy. Listen how quiet. Isn't that nice? She sounds like a high-class sewing machine now. But look at these stitches I just did. Aren't they beautiful? Come on, focus. Let me see if I can get my head by it. Might focus better. But aren't those beautiful stitches? So, yay. Took her in. Ron did a great job. Thank you, Ron, from Sewingly Yours. You know, my favorite local shop. But she's now purring like a kitten and cuts thread without even thinking about it. So I'm real happy to have her back. She's not my favorite machine. I'm covering her ears. But my favorite is my Juki upstairs, and I love it. It is one of the more modern Jukis, not the TL series, which was wonderful. But I like thread cutters and needle down and zigzag and all those things. But she is she's the one I end up sewing on most when I come downstairs. So that's really nice. So I went and picked her up from having her spa treatment. And then I drove past Polly Thompson's house and put Polly's package in her door. She wasn't home, but I was able to leave her that because I said, hey, she's only 8 minutes away from my sewing shop. Go drop it off. Then after that, I went to Lowe's. Now, Gromit was with me, my famous wonder dog Gromit, and he's so good. He loves going bye-bye, and he doesn't bark. He just sits in the seat and waits for me to come back. And when I say to him, hey, do you want to go bye-bye? He is ready. So I went into Lowe's, and I must have been there 2 hours because what I had to do was get cabinet paint And I asked the man for help because I thought, you know what? I haven't painted kitchen cabinets in 21 years. I want to do it right. No, longer than that. Since 1992. Oh my goodness, that's a long time ago. But anyway, it's been a long time since I painted kitchen cabinets. I hate doing them. I hate it. But these cabinets have been in this house probably 20 years, 25 years. And I don't know what they were, some kind of cheap cabinet, but the finish started popping off, especially anywhere where it got wet or damp or humid. It just started popping off. And then you're left with raw wood. Well, you can't have that in the kitchen. And they're pretty to look at, but cheap. And we didn't put them in. I put in real nice craft-made cabinets in the house that I sold to move in here, but I got the cheap ones. But anyway, so I said, Mark, I can't stand living with this kitchen with the paint popping off, and it just looks ucky, and I'm ready for a change. And I've got pictures of the before and the during, because of course we don't have the afters yet. But I spent hours in Lowe's looking paints. I wanted cabinet paint, and then had to get a primer, oil-based primer. But let me tell you something, it was so worth it. The only problem I have with the oil-based primer is I have asthma. And it's not the best thing because those fumes, they even tell you wear a respirator and all this stuff. And don't use near open flames. Oh, isn't that nice? So I could blow myself up. But anyway, but I did the primer on the upstairs, the cabinet boxes and the drawer fronts because we didn't pull out the drawers. I said I can do them in place and we won't get them confused. But I had the windows open and the fan sucking in air. It was 40-some degrees. I was freezing. It was a mess. So Mark is actually in the garage today. He said, hon, you might not like this. So I was ready to hear bad news. He said, because we made a deal. I'll do all the painting and the ordering and buying and all that. If you do the prep work, the washing them down and the sanding and then tacking them to get them all the dust off. So he agreed. And so he came up and said, you might not like this. I love Janome New Home. I have one of those too. I love it. But he said, I think since I'm done, I'll be done tonight with all my sanding and tack clothing. I think I should prime them in the garage for you. Well, I'm saying, okay. I'm like, I wanted to say, oh my God, thanks, that's great. But okay. Why were you thinking of doing that? Because I'm thinking, is there a trick? Is this a haha? I was just kidding. Is there going to be strings attached to this? But no, he just said, you know what? If I do them down there and I've got the garage door open, I've got the fan going. I said, but you'll be standing right near a gas furnace and a gas hot water heater with exposed flames. He promised me he'd have enough ventilation that he didn't blow us up. And he's doing it now. So far, we haven't blown up. He said, Deb, they just don't want you in an enclosed room with a flame. I said, oh, okay, gotcha. Or sitting there smoking cigarettes while you're doing it. I don't smoke cigarettes. Anyway, so I am so last night when I finally realized that there were no strings attached and he was serious, I was like, you don't know how happy that made me. I'm so happy because, it's just hard to breathe and put on that toxic primer, but it's the best. But yeah, I should not be near it with my asthma. So far I'm not smelling it through the garage, but I've got pictures of all that to show you. First, I'll show you the colors I chose. Now, the outside of my house was painted this color. And it's called Murky Sage. And I love Valspar paint. So I go to Lowe's and get my Valspar paint. But it's called Murky Sage. And I love it because it's a green with a whole lot of gray in it. And it's so pretty. Then upstairs in my den type room it had paneling. We painted the same exact, we painted one shade lighter. which would be this one. And under the light in the den, it has a bluish cast. It's really pretty. It kind of makes it look beach house-like. So what I decided to do is to use that same color for the base of my kitchen cabinets. And then I wanted a putty color, off-white kind of putty color for the top. I have a small kitchen with only one window, and I didn't want to make it look darker. So I went to the same color palette, and I chose this one. And it's interesting. It's like a little trick of the eye, because here's the base cabinet color, here's the uppers. And even though this is technically green, it looks like putty with the cabinet color. So these are my two colors, uppers and lowers. These are my two colors. And I got Valspar cabinet paint. And what you're talking about is $200 changing the look of your kitchen. Now, I'll show you in the pictures. Oh my gosh, they wanted $13,000 to install. Isn't that ridiculous? And see, that's the thing. You know, we're trying to save for the retirement, so we're on a restricted budget. And I said, Mark, we got to do something. And I don't want to pay thousands of dollars to have somebody do a sloppy job, because nobody's going to do it as carefully as we, if we did find that kind of person, we can't afford them. So it was going to save thousands of dollars for just a couple $100. And then I've got a sink that I bought, one of these granite type sinks, and it was tan, and I don't like the color anymore, but the dumb thing stains all the time. So you won't believe what I'm going to do, but listen to me, and let me tell you. I looked at putting a farmhouse sink in. Well, the problem is I'm not redoing my counters. I have white Corian, and I know on House Hunters, they would turn their nose up at white Corian. 20 years I wanted Corian, and I love those counters. They're tough as nails. They hold up to everything. The only thing I would switch to, if money were not an issue, I would get granite, quartz. I would get a quartz that looks like Carrara marble, because with quartz, you don't have to seal it. You have to worry about stains. It's a battle axe. But I'm not spending thousands of dollars. I just can't justify it. I'm sorry, but I'm frugal. I can't justify it. So I've got these perfectly fine white Corian. Okay. So Mark's going to take his buffer, and he's got a polishing kit to go with it. And he's going to polish them all down so that any discoloration, any little scratches or whatever will just disappear. And we're going to be happy with that. And I'll show you when I show the pictures, this ugly, dark, it's the color of coffee with plenty of cream, mocha, little tiny mosaic backsplash. And in a tiny kitchen with not much light, it's just so dark. So I went looking around, and I found these vinyl peel and stick kitchen backsplash tiles. Because for us to try to take off that backsplash, how would you get tile and mastic and grout and stuff off without damaging drywall? We're talking major job. I didn't want to do that. I'm sorry. We're in our 60s. So I found this vinyl peel and stick from Home Depot. And it looks like Carrara marble, and it's in a herringbone pattern. Now, it might look cheap and it might look stupid, but you know what? Let's see when it comes in. In the pictures, it looked pretty good. So we will see, but I'm hoping for just a few $100s, we'll have a nice kitchen. Now, the sink, when it comes to the sink, I wanted a farmhouse sink. But we don't want to replace the countertops, so we would need a drop-in farmhouse. Well, they don't really make drop-in farmhouses. Then I don't want to refigure my whole kitchen cabinet. I'm not doing new cabinets, so it was just becoming too hard to try to find something. And So anyway, what I'm going to do is I found a Kohler good quality cast iron white glossy finish, and the new finishes on the cast iron are amazing. And so I'm going to put in a good old-fashioned white cast iron sink. And that way, with the white counters and the white sink, it'll make the kitchen look brighter and more open. And I told Mark we just have to be careful with the cast iron pots and not let them scratch it. But and plus, it's a whole lot cheaper. It's a whole lot cheaper. So do you like the clock in the background? That's the clock Carol gave me. So I said, I got to have that up so I can show that off. So anyway, but it's just going to be nice, and it's simple. It's not fancy. And I've got to make a new little valance to go in there because I had before dark brown and all that stuff. It's like, lighten it up, lighten it up. So, all right. So now you know the colors. Now you know what I've been doing. And I got to tell you a secret. I've always loved house renovations. Loved it. Always thought, oh, I'd love to flip houses. I got to tell you, it's hard work. And I think this kitchen has kind of taught me I'm out of the actual working part of doing it, because standing up on step stools and carefully trying to paint trim and, trying to keep your hands steady. And, oh my gosh, I hope I look as tired as I feel. Every muscle in my body aches. I'm like, I should be sewing. So I'm absolutely exhausted and everything hurts. And Mark, we're both like walking around like old people. And Advil is our new best friend. So anyway, I tell you, it gets harder and harder. And I said, this is why you don't see a lot of 63-year-old women doing house renovations, because it's hard work. So anyway, but we're going to just enjoy it. And we figured if we can get the deck work, we've got some deck repair to do this spring. And then that's it for the heavy lifting. We're not doing this anymore. Well, let me see who is here. And thanks for listening to my whole story. That's, what a week, I tell you. But yep, I have bargains. I love bargains, and I love doing it yourself. If I painted somebody up, paid someone else to come in and do all this, we couldn't afford it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So anyway, it is so good to see all of you. So what do you say that we'll head off to look at some photos? Then I had to put a big order. See this box behind me? I had to put an order in for connecting threads. So wait till you see what I got, and I'll tell you how much it all is. And then we'll talk about, I had the best time doing this. Mark was busy taking down the cabinets and didn't need my help. So I came down and in just like 2 hours it would help if I turned it right side up. But anyway, wait a minute. Now it's upside down. I don't know. Help me. I don't know what I'm doing. So here it is. Here it is. So I had the best time doing this. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and what you can look forward to this week's installment of The Landscape. And so that's what fun we have as soon as we get back from the photos. So if you give me just 1 minute, I forgot I got some more Russell photos, pardon me. So let me try to find those real fast. But also put on your calendar that we would be scheduled to have a December 30th live stream, but all my kids are coming and they'll be here, and I'm going to have the big meal and all of the baked goods and the whole traditional one more time big blowout on the 30th. And so I would like to do our live stream on New Year's Day. So anybody who can make it on New Year's Day, we'll do it New Year's Day at 3 p.m., just like normal, but New Year's Day. So put that on your calendar and let me find. I happen to notice Nikki Phipps saying a compliment, and I just love having Nikki type in there. That is so wonderful. So let's see. Okay. All right. Let me find this one thing. And I'm almost there. Here we go. Oop. All right. So I'm going to take you to my grandson's photo gallery. They had him professionally photographed. Now he's older. He's 2 months older than this now. But I thought you might like to see this. And he just keeps getting cuter and cuter and cuter. So here he is. He's such a happy little boy. And there is my daughter-in-law and my son. I love that picture. I actually love this one. This cute that poor little Russell's yawning. He's like, this has been a long day. And in his picture with his mama. How sweet is that? But I love that they had these made. Look at this. Isn't that cute? I bet you, knowing my son, he's doing a Zerbert right on his cheek. But this little boy is such a joy for me. And I get to see him in just a few weeks. I'm so excited. So that is my grandson's, that's his photo shoot. All right, now I downloaded a whole bunch from Miss Nadine. So here is, Busy Pat was so cute. She sent me a photo of the photos she won. I mean, the fabrics and stuff she won from the prize drawing. That is so sweet. I'm so tickled she's happy. That was a lot of fun, ladies, and thank you for all that fun. Now, what in the world? Oh, I'll show you that. I'll come back to that in just a minute. Here's Diane W. I had forgotten, Diana, to show this for a while back, and it was for a couple for the camper. I'm trying to remember. Isn't that neat? So I don't know if it's a whole set. Oh, I think that the table cover fits in that bag. She's so talented, though. My goodness, Diana. You are a talented gal. Ah, there it is. So it does. It fits in the bag. What a great idea. And this must be one of her quilt of valor. Aren't they beautiful? You know, so many of y'all do charity things, do stuff for others, and I can't thank you enough. But look at her work. I just love it. And this one, I think, I'm trying to remember the name, Critters or something with critters, and it's just precious. Look at that. Isn't that great? I love it. There's the back of it, which I always love. It's probably not easy for you to see, but I love seeing the back of quilts because that's when you mostly see the the detail. Here's the eagle and the quilting around that. I think it's exquisite. Let me see if I can get a close-up of this one. Look at all the work on those wings. Isn't that amazing? That's artistry. Way to go, Diana. Gosh, that's pretty. Here's another one. Look at all that. It just brings that panel to life. Brings that bird to life for sure. Beautiful. Let's see. I know. Oh, here's a beautiful shot of it. Look at that. She does good work, and I'm so tickled because she is being discovered now. I mean, look at the flags just everywhere. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I can imagine how wonderful for that veteran who's going to receive this quilt for Quilts of Valor. So very nice. Here's the back of it. Look at all that quilting. Mm. Here's the quilt being held outside by her tall husband. There's the back. I can imagine he probably says, why are we looking? Why do people want to see the back of it? That's cute. All right, so now let's move to another. And, Nadine, be ready. Nadine gave us a bunch of one. In fact, I wish she was here. I was reading about a festival that's called the Festival of Lights. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's to celebrate the wall coming down. But isn't that beautiful? And I can just imagine how wonderful that is. And I think it's a festival built around the reunification of Germany, which is a very good thing to celebrate. So I wanted to wish her well for that. Oh, here's her Christmas tree. Let me rotate this little quilt and enlarge it. And I love her tuxedo kitty, her black and white, or we call them sometimes Sylvester cats. But isn't that beautiful? Isn't that tree beautiful? I love her work. And I love her use of traditional colors. Just beautiful. And here's the top of that tree. Let's enlarge this so you can see it a little better. That's really, really nice. Beautiful. Okay, let's find the next one. Whoops. And here is, I love the applique row. Isn't that pretty? Gosh, that's so pretty. I love when you have piecework and applique in the same quilt. I think it's just amazing. Lovely, lovely. And just remember, if you would like to see your work on Our Time to Quilt, please send me your photos to Our Time to Quilt at twc.com, and I will put your work up because we love it. It's our virtual, sun's coming in the window. It's our virtual quilt show. So we love it. Isn't this sweet? I love that. Okay. Let me see another one. You can tell that she loves Edita Sitar because her work just is so reminiscent. You know, it's just beautiful. I love that. Oh, and it's a smaller one, and this time it's offset the other way. Very productive young woman. Okay, let's see what this is. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that fabric. Turn this. Oh, look at this pattern. Shabby Fabrics. That looks like a perfect pattern for her to make. And this must be the fabric she's chosen. Oh, that's sweet. Have you noticed that Nadine loves tradition, loves warmth and family, and it's just wonderful to see that. I love her threads. Oh, that's some nice RFL thread, I'll tell you. Yeah, we saw this one. I just love that they're working, a group of ladies on our group are working on the Farmer's Wife quilt. I love that. Yes, if I had time. I don't know why, but the older I get, the less time I seem to have. And here's, oh, that's right, she had gotten some supplies she ordered. That's beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Let me turn this. I'm not sure which way it's supposed to go, but she's showing us something here. Oh, maybe she did this binding by machine. Not quite sure. I didn't have time to read the emails that came with everything. I apologize. Okay, let's enlarge this and see what we've got. All right, let me flip this. Oops. Having a hard time. Oh, I see. We're okay. She's sewing her binding on. She must have some kind of attachment that she can actually sew the binding on with. That's nice. Nice. Oh, here are some photos from the Festival of Lights where they celebrate the wall coming down in Berlin. Isn't that beautiful? They shine lights and photos and images over all the main buildings. Oh, that's all I had. Okay. So anyway, we'll talk about that. We'll get Nadine's opinion and find out more about that very soon. Here is a new photo person, and it is Miss Patricia Fry. And she is redoing her sewing room in her home. And I love it. And she has got a diagram up on the wall here. So let's look. She's just starting out. I love her wall color. I wonder why. I love that. It's so pretty. Looks like a speaker on the wall. Oh, good. She's got good air conditioning in that room. Nice television. Love it. Oh, look at those wonderful closets. Lots and lots of storage there. Way to go. So she said it makes things messy trying to get it organized, and that is true. And this right here, let me see if I can enlarge it. She's got a pegboard that she's going to hang her tools on. So I can't wait to see when she's got it all set up. But I love this. And it's a lot of work. I do know. And then here is her Advent quilt. How cute is that? Yeah, today's the first day of December, so I guess everybody's got to pull out all their Advent calendars. So thank you, Miss Pat. Can't wait to see more, sweetie. All right, now Sonia has, oh yes, I forgot about these. Look at these. Look at this beautiful quilt. Let me enlarge it. It's a dragon pattern. How exciting is that? Oh, wow. Okay. And I love these. Look at it. Watercolors and applique flowers. Just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sonia, you're very talented. And then I think these are her farmer's wife blocks. So she's doing that as well. One busy lady. Way to go, Miss Sonia. And another shot of this wonderful dragon quilt. Oh my gosh, what fun. What fun is that? Look at that dragon. I love the movie Dragonheart, where Sean Connery was the dragon's voice. Just loved it. All right, let's see what else we have. Tanya, our new lady Tanya sent this beautiful quilt she had been working on. I love it. It is a landscape with saguaro cacti. Look at all of those cactuses. Aren't they great? So I thought that was, let me move it back just a little bit so you can see it all at once. I think that's a great. She said she went out west and was just so taken with those cactus that she had to come home and make a landscape quilt. And look at that sky. Isn't that just lit up? It's wonderful. Good job, Tanya. Please send us more. We like it. And don't forget the pineapple fabric sale this week, believe it or not. I told Mark I would be painting all week, except I've got to run to see the pineapple fabric sale. And what they're having is they're going to have a tutorial, like a make it, take it. And I'm not sure I can spend enough time there to do that, but I'll think about it. But the two guests they have are going to be doing a make it, take it. So that's exciting. And I think you have to pre-register. It's $15 a person. But the sale is this week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Can't wait. All right, then the last things I'll show you are my painting pictures. Okay, here is the kitchen before. Now, we had taken off all of the knobs. And let me tell you what I do with the knobs. I degloss them and spray paint them with oil rub bronze myself, because I'm not going to spend money and buy all new knobs. I just real careful and paint them. So Mark has started taking those off. And here is the kitchen window, and this kitchen is very small. I hope you can get the feeling of that. But like, see the dark curtain I had up here? That dark, I got a new globe for the light fixture. But see this dark, it's a mosaic, ceramic mosaic trim. It just takes up too much light. And these cabinets, that wasn't bad with the beige. I might, if it had been in perfect condition, I probably wouldn't have undertaken this right now. But all along here, finish was just popping off. You see all these flecks on the floor. And here is, now this was one of the sample of that peel and stick, but I've got a different kind, and I'll show you when it comes in. But I was considering this, but it's a little busy. But I want to cover up all of this. It's just too dark. And see, this is the room right here. This is the room adjoining it where I painted the paneling, that greenish color that in the house looks blue. But here's the backsplash of the kitchen stove, and I just really hate that dark tile. I've hated it since I first bought the house. See what the cabinets were doing? Can you see all of that little, just little bits everywhere, just flipping off? It was a mess. I've never seen cabinets do this. This is the one under the sink. Everywhere you see the dark line, that's raw wood. Were all that cheapest finish in the world. It's supposed to, they sprayed on like a varnish that had a creamy color mixed in. And it was the cheapest mess I've ever seen. And I've never seen cabinets just start flaking like that. So this one was the worst. And it just made the kitchen look really shabby. All right. So let's see what this one is. Oh, okay. That's what I just showed you. Okay. Let me, yep, all of these. Sorry. All right. So now let me go back. Here is the kitchen with the primer. So he had taken off the cabinet doors and he had sanded In fact, when I was doing the landscape, the mountain landscape, you could hear him with the sander up here, sanding all the cabinets. And I hate this peachy background. It is the worst yucky, yucky color. But here is where I've primed all the fronts of the cabinets because I want to make sure that when I paint this, it stays. Now you can see what's in my messy cabinets, but this is more primer. And see, here to the sink is not that far. So this is a kind of small enclosed kitchen. But I got all the primer work done. And I'm going to do from the molding all the way down with the cabinet color. I'd like to make the kitchen look, see there's a wall over here. So it's just this little kitchen space stuffed full of cabinets. Okay, now that is it for that one. All right, then I have another folder that has the new colors in progress. So let me show you now. Here's the first coat. I found out, it's not enough to have primer and one coat. You have to do primer and 2 coats of paint. So this is the lighter green, which is supposed to kind of look like an off-white. And here is the darker green. And I've got to tell you, having the cabinet paint makes a difference because it levels itself much better than just regular paint. And they were talking about it taking a lot longer to dry, but we're not finding it's too bad. So here I'm going to paint all the trim, everything, the light upper cabinet color, and then the darker green goes down here. So, and I made sure that the darker green is not any darker than the beige that was on there, because I don't want to rob the kitchen of light. This tan sink I bought was one of these granite composites, was a mess. I will be so glad to get rid of that thing. That was a waste of money. And here's the bank of drawers you can see. We had to try to figure out with the pantry cabinets, what color do you paint those? We went with the uppers. And so it'll be the off-white all the way down. So I think there's the end panel in the green. I'm hoping you can tell it's the green. It's kind of tricky with the lighting. Anyway, and then I said, oh my gosh, how in the world am I going to paint these little toe kicks? I think I would have to lay on my tummy and do it. And Mark said, I'll handle those. It's hard to get to. All right. Now, real quick, let me see. I'm going to take you to show you what Mark's doing outside. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is notice the first thing he did before he brought any paints and cabinets out to that garage. Yes, he covered his girlfriend. He did not want her getting any dust or paint drips or anything on her. He loves that motorcycle, and I'm so happy. Okay, look what our garage looks like. And there's Mark standing right up there. He is priming. And this is just the uppers for the kitchen. There's a lot of cabinets in that kitchen. And here he is, and we're in between rows because I saw in this old house, they said put cup hooks in the top of the cabinet so you can hang them and you can paint both sides of them without having to wait until they're totally dry to turn them over. So there he is, that sweetheart. I'm very lucky to have him that he hates doing this stuff, but he knows it had to be done and he's doing it. He'd rather be doing anything than this. Here is the lower cabinet doors. So when he finished all those upper doors, then we've got to prime the lower doors. And this is the part that was over the kitchen sink, and it actually started coming apart. So he had to do some repair, and he's got it glued and in the vice grips But so that's what our garage looks like now. And after he primes these, and they'll be hanging there, then this week I'm going to go out every day, because all of these, and then the ones on the floor, that once these are all dry and rehung, these will come up, be hung up here, and I have to put 2 coats of the finished color on them. Be thinking about me this week. I just wanted to show you these. These are the plants that were on the front porch. They're 4 feet in diameter. I said, I'm not just letting those be killed by the frost. So he brought them in and hung them from the rafters, because I brought them in the garage last year and they did beautifully. So, oh, and this was my happy Thanksgiving. All right, so that is photos for today. I hope I didn't bore you to death. And let me get back to there. All right. Thank you so much for being willing to look at the photos. So anybody that just feels like they have a hankering to do some painting, come on over. I'll put you to work. I'll put a paintbrush in your hand so fast you won't believe it. So how is everybody? Vicky Robles said that she can make it New Year's Day. That's great. And it might be fun for us to kind of sit and do handwork and chat and just, send me your pictures and we'll chat. Is everyone still here? And is the stream going okay? Because sometimes I worry when I go off to do the photos. Polly said, and you know what, Polly, you're close enough. You could come and help. I'm just teasing you, sweetheart. I would never do that to you. So, yes, I hope Miss Susan is doing okay. I think of you every day, sweetheart. So I think of you and keep you real close. Vicky Lemire is very sick. Oh, no, Vicky. Oh, no. So thank you for looking at all that. And Busy Pat, she's our hero. I love Miss Busy Pat. And I hope, Busy Pat, you saw that I shared the photo of your prize that you had when you got it in the mail. So everybody should be getting their prizes in the next few days. So this is great. All right. So let me talk a little bit about these quilts. And I can't wait to show you the prizes I got. So this you remember this from the retreat. I'm so tickled I finished this. And I was supposed to just sit on the couch and take paper off the back. But as you can hear and see, I haven't quite done that. I wanted to ask you guys a question. This is another quilt that I was working on, trying to finish. And I did this last year at the Myrtle Beach Quilt Party. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put sashing in between the blocks. And then in the sashing, I would put a green square. Because this is really hard to match up all this. And I like, hi, Mariella. Hello, hon. But I kind of would like input because I like that it creates this secondary pattern. But boy, it's a little tricky to get that. So, but I think I'm really going to like it. I like how complex it is. And, but anyway, just wanted to show you that. So, and then don't forget my Miss Nadine and my Miss Cheryl's quilt. Vicki, honey, I hope you feel better. I am so sorry you're sick. So, okay. Feel better, sweetheart. I'll bring in my tray with, and I was going to tell you, so this came, I told Mark, it's supplies, it's not fabric. I think he feels it comes out of the same fund. But anyway, but they had a really good sale the other week on supplies, and I need some. But I was going to tell you, they put this paper, it comes off a big roll. They put this paper in the box, and it is a nice, heavy paper. Well, I save this stuff. And what I do is I come along with my iron and I iron it out. And I save it either to draw patterns on or anything like that. But most of the time, now this one has a little rip in it. But if they're not ripped, what I do is you have to iron it so that it will lay flat. But when my grandkids come over to do art and to paint and to use glitter and glue and all of that, I lay these on the table, and that way they don't make a mess that I have to clean up. When they're all done, we just crumple this up and throw it away. But see, you lay this and they work on it, and this stuff, and even the brown stuff that they crunch up in packages, that works great too. And it keeps all the color right on the top. So they can't mess up my tables. But now that I've got this ironed, I'll just fold it up, and I have a place for this kind of paper. And that one little rip, I'll probably just put tape on it. It'll still work. But I like this too. So, oh my goodness, look at that snow. Goodness gracious. So here is, they don't have the prices on here, but I think I can remember them. So I ended up getting, and I told Mark he can use this for one of my Christmas presents. Their books were 50% off. And what this is, it's a free motion quilting book, free motion designs, and let me see, who is the author? Oh, it's for all different authors. Natalie Bonner, Greta Grama, Don Lynn, Gina Perks, Sylvia Pippin, Sally Sandbach, blah, blah, Angela Walters too. And what it is, it's designs for the blocks. So, because, sometimes you get a quilt with a bunch of blocks and it's like, what do I do? And I have a companion to this book upstairs I keep right at my long arm and flip through and see what strikes my fancy. So this was $5.33, something like that. Definitely a good purchase. Then what a difference. A difference putting my fabric on these comic book cards made. And these were on sale. The first were $7.99. Because if you go to Amazon and stuff, they're a lot more expensive. $7.99 I thought was a great deal. These were on sale for $6. So I got 2 more of those. And this is 100 cards. And if I use any more than 2 more packs of this, I won't be here anymore. Mark will kill me. So anyway, but I got 2 more packs because that's such a deal. Then, let's see. I'll show you that in a minute. That was the exciting part because I was telling him how much money I was saving. And he said, but you spent how much? They had this sweet little quilt diary and on sale for $3.52. And I got that because I'm always needing a gift. When you go to classes or you go to retreats, you always need to take a gift. So that's going to be my gift. Because I haven't had any lately. Okay, then needle cases. Ladies, I highly recommend this for all of your hand needles. Wood is an amazing substance for needles because it breathes and it will absorb moisture. And these, they say you can even decorate them now. But I love it because I can write on them and put a label on them saying exactly what needle's inside. So these were on sale for $2 each because they used to be pretty cheap, but now they've gotten a lot more expensive. So I got 2 of these. They were $2 each, so each needle case is $1. That's my price. And then they had these 5 new rotary blades, and these are clover, and they were on sale for $13 and something for 5 blades. I'm happy with that. And I love the little storage case it comes with. I save that case when I'm done with it for putting in the dull blades. I only buy new blades once a year because I do my own sharpening and it helps. Now, then I got this, and this was on sale, and it's a self-stick. I've got a couple of them I took out that are upstairs. Or did I put them back in here? Let me see. But anyway, they're re-stickable. Yeah, here they are. They're made by the 3M company. And they're re-stickable. And you can put them on the bed of your sewing machine to make sure you're sewing an accurate 1/4 inch. I really like these. And they give you 5 in the package, and you can use them over and over again and put them on different machines. So I got those. Those were $5. So they're $1 a piece. Then, I only use one type of rotary cutter because of my arthritis, and I had carpal tunnel surgery on this hand. Look, see my little tiny scar. And I only use Martelli. These are the best Martelli rotary cutters. And I have a bad back, so I'm even able to cut with these sitting down because of the way they distribute the strength on your hand. But it keeps your wrist, while you're cutting, your wrist is perfectly straight. No pain. These normally run about $20 to $24. I got this one for $12 and something. Good deal. Mark said, how many do you have of those now? I said 2 or 3, but I have a feeling I'm good for life now. But I had to get another one of those. That was too good of a price. They do last a long time. My last one lasted 10 years, but I keep one upstairs, one downstairs, one in my travel bag, so it's nice. Then now I don't know what I'm going to think of these. These are the Roxanne applique needles. They look a touch short for me. I didn't know that. It doesn't say what size they are. It just says applique needles. So I'm hoping I'll like them. The reason I got them is for this package. It was $6. There were 50 needles in it. That's a lot of needles. So let me know if you like these or not. But then I got something called a bodkin. This is a bodkin. I have one that I have used since I worked for the museum way back in the early 1990s. 1990s. And mine's getting kind of bent because see that little ring you push down? You put your whatever ribbon you want to pull through something, you put in between these teeth, then you push that. See that metal ring? You push that down to hold it tightly, and then you pull the whole bodkin through the casing. And mine's gotten so misshapen. This was a whole $1. I think a good deal. So I told him I was down to my last pack and a half, 2 packs of sewing machine needles. Not quilt machine needles, but sewing machine needles. And so I had to get some of those. But anyway, here is an air erasable pen to mark my long arm quilts when I'm quilting. And this was less than $3. And then I'm ashamed to show you this, ladies, but in the name of honesty, I'm going to show you this. Look at my iron. Is that disgusting or what? I have been doing a lot of ironing with fusibles, and it has left my iron filthy. So they had this on sale for $4. So I got, let me turn it this way. I got a tube of hot iron cleaner. And that should work really nicely. There's another way I've done it before, and I don't know if it was salt or baking soda or something, but I always forget. So then I'm running out of pins. That's just not enough pins. So I bought a new pack of pins, and these were $2 or $3. And you can press over the end of the pin, and they won't melt because these do. So then the last part of this purchase were sewing machine needles. These were $2 and something a pack. You can't beat it. I needed them. And I like it because they're big packs, 5 packs. So I put like salt on a towel and ran the iron over it. I don't know. Oh, sorry about your blood sugar testing, hon. It's not fun. But I got myself 5 packs of sewing machine needles. And I got size 12s. I got a size 11, size 12, and size 12. Because I have top stitch 14s for my long arm, and I have some 16s. So I've got that. So anyway, they had their special sales, and I think they're still going to have them this week. I'm not sure. I can't tell you for sure. But today they said, check for our deal of the day. And because I spent, I guess, $75, they gave me this free. Look at this. Variegated threads. Now, with all my thread painting, hello, with all of my thread painting, look at this. Look at this. I'm so excited. Look how many. And it was absolutely free because I had spent. So not only did I get things 40 and 50% off, I think it was like up to 70% off, then I got this and free shipping. So I'm not sure Mark was quite as excited as I was, but I'm very happy. So thank you. And this, as I said before, is connecting threads. Let me see if I can. I wanted to get a better, I can't see a place where I can hold up and it'll say, but connecting threads, check them out. They always have good deals. I've been shopping at Connecting Threads for years because they have such good deals. So let me just hold on just a second. Let me toss. And those comic boards, it's 100 boards. It's 100 boards for the $6. And I don't know when the sale was to go off or what. And I never want to talk people into spending money that they shouldn't or they don't have. But I like to tell you how I do it because I have to be frugal. And what I do is I wait until the sale is that good. And then I see what they have that I need. And that's what I get. So I'm very happy with that. Okay. Yes, thread makes me happy. I love it. So now talking about, I know what I wanted to talk to you about. The light box. I was lucky. This was given to me. And if you quilt long enough, somebody will, be cleaning out their sewing room. It'll give you something. But you know how I made all of these trays out of the foam core board? Love them. You can use the same foam core. And you can do that thing. If you don't have a hot glue gun to make the corner, you can like overshoot it, by cutting halfway through and kind of overlapping. But use that, make it flat box, and put a piece of plexiglass over it. Or plastic, a heavy plastic, and put a little flashlight in it. Doesn't have to be hard. But this one was given to me, and it's actually, it's not the very best. They have these new ones that are gorgeous, but they're hundreds of dollars. And you know how Deb feels about spending that much on a one tool that I don't use that often. In fact, Mark called me some years ago, and at his work, they were selling some office equipment they didn't need. One of them was an overhead projector. Guess what that does? That overhead projector has that lighted glass base. It's wonderful for using to do cut out appliques and trace. So that's what I need if I need a big space. But anyway, Oh, that's wonderful. Patricia Fry says Belks has a light box for around 15. And that's wonderful. So that you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. So I worked on this the other day, and if you want, you can always see it in the batteries running low. Uh-oh, hold on, gang. I forgot to plug that in. There. Now that's better. In fact, I'm brighter. I can see better. Oh, and but anyway, I need to work on this because I use some of my hand dyes to make what looks like bright reflected sunlight, but it looks like another mountain. So in the video, I talk about either using some gray tool, pardon me, or using some white tool. So what I'm going to be working on this week is I want to correct that problem before I go any further. And I'm either going to put another layer or two. I might just put more layers of the white tool. But the gray tool kind of toned it down, and I'm not sure. Let me see. I'll let you help me decide, if you would. Light boxes on sale at Amazon. And you can always, let's say you don't even want to buy a light box. Then you can go and tape up the pattern on your window on a sunny day and then put your fabric up to it. But I'm trying to decide if I use this gray tool, is it going to dull it too much? So, in fact, let me go ahead and cut off a piece so I'm not trying to deal with this whole little bolt. But see, even this tool I put on one of those mini comic boards. Okay, so now let me get this out of the way. All right. So I'm going to pull this back and see what I don't know, that might be good. I really need to, and I'm also not going to worry, because when I come to the last stage of embellishing, I can always take my Inktense pencils and kind of soften the edge there. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'll draw it and then I'll put the medium on and it'll kind of bleed up and soften that. Because right now it's so bold that it looks like another mountain range, and I want it to just be the colors from the sun. So I will work on that. But I'm thinking that maybe a layer or two of I don't know, I want it to be bright, but not so bright. I want it to be light, but not so bright. Does that make sense? So what did I do with my white tool? Oh, you. But anyway, I will keep experimenting. That I'm going to solve that. Then this week, we need to take and use invisible thread. And I have plenty. I have Superior Threads Invisible. And I have YLI. So I have both of these that I can work on. And I have a smoky one from Superior Threads as well. So between these, I'm going to zigzag all my pieces down. And then I'm going to start doing some thread painting and get some definition. And I'm going to take and do some trapunto for some of these mountains. Put in some batting behind this and stitch it down. So probably to another piece of muslin to give it some dimension. Although, you know what? That's right. Before I do that, I need to do my thread painting. Because then that way, if I do the trapunto first and each mountain range is puffy, and then I try to thread paint, it'll flatten it all back down. So that's the only tricky thing you have to remember when you do this. The first step is going to be to attach all the applique pieces. The second step is thread painting. The third step is trapunto or stuff work to make these, to build these out, make them a little puffy. Then the last step is where we'll take and do any kind of embellishments with beads or yarns or anything. Actually, no, yarns I need to do after the first stage. And then the last thing I will do is use my fabric paints, my fabric inks, and do all of my shadowing and any highlighting and all of that. So we'll do a group of those skills each week until we get it done. But this is really very easy, very enjoyable, and I think if any of you haven't tried one, please do. I think you'll enjoy it. But like I want my mountains to reflect a little bit down in this water, and so I'll do that with ink tints, where I'll kind of do a little bit of shading. So I'm excited about that. All right. So, and like I said before, I made a pattern. Oh, and on this too, I show you how to change a pattern. So you can, at any time, these red lines show the changes I made. At any time, you can make this pattern totally yours. So, but anybody who wants a pattern, I send it to you by email, and they're 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each page I connected with a different registration mark, so you know exactly what order your pages go in. Okay, so you just have to match up the lines, put a piece of tape, and you'll, after you print them out, you'll have that. So just write me an email at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com. I'm very good at emailing a pattern right back to you. That way you can try it right along with me. And in fact, I'll start sending you pictures of what I've done just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea. I'll send you the pictures I have so far. So, do you want me to do some of it in front of you? I'll be happy to. In fact, I have a few minutes left. I could show you how I will, real quick. Now, when you do invisible stitching, you do not have to use any special bobbin thread. I just use a reasonably lightweight bobbin thread. And let me see. I'll show you with the dark. I'll show you how to do these trees. Because I think I've shown you on camera a lot with the clear invisible. And if you have problems working with invisible threads, then it's most likely you're using an old version of a monofilament that they were nasty. They were rubbery. They would snap back. They would stretch terribly. But the new generation, they're much better. Now, the only dark one I have is from Superior Threads, but YLI makes a good one too. And it's just whatever you want to do. Okay, so bring it up. And make sure that none of it's, this is wrapped a little funny. Let me, okay. It is so thin. It is as thin as human hair. So, woo. So you have to use good lighting to see this. Okay. Let me bring my lamp in here. And he must have even aligned my needle threader because it's now working good. I tell you what, it's nice when the machine can go and have a spa day because it sure makes my life easier. All right, so I've already that easily, I have threaded this puppy. Okay, are you ready? All right. Now we're just going to just give you a little. In fact, we could do a special day, a live stream for people who are working on the landscape quilt. But I've got my needle threaded. You'll have to take my word for it because it's as thin as human hair. Now I'll put my zigzag stitch on. which is stitch number 2. I've got a wide, make sure you have a wide enough foot, because otherwise you will be breaking your foot. Breaking your needle, maybe your machine. You don't want to mess up your machine. And I just start off. And see, you don't use this in the bobbin because you don't need it. You save this just for where it shows. Don't worry if you see this little, it's just the tail end. I didn't nip it off. Let me nip it real quick now. And I'm not going to sew all the way up because I think I still am going to have to pull off this branch and put some more tulle in here. So I'll just go up part of the way. But you see how simple? Not hard at all. And don't stitch too wild, not too fast, but you don't have to really go slowly. Just understand that this is a very thin thread. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to this side, and I make sure it's nice and flat. And I'm going to go to this side. I'm just running the zigzag along the outer edge, making sure to keep the fabric from pooking up too much. Okay. So see, now this is all stitched down. That easy. Then I run over to this. I did not drop my feed dogs. I just feed it through gently. Okay, stop here so that I can go back and lift. I'm going to actually pull this up to put the tulle under it. Much easier than trying to cut little pieces of tulle. Okay. So see, this is what you do. And I'm using the dark, the smoky, invisible thread so that it won't show up on this tree. It looks like I got a little wrinkle in this tree. So let me stretch this out a little. Whoops, I almost forgot to stop. All right, so now this was pulling up threads, so I must have, if you get background threads, see my background threads came up. I'm not sure what just happened, but I'll take that out. So I don't want them to show. All right. So here. Now, oh my goodness, those backgrounds. Oh, I must have done something. I wasn't holding the fabric out smoothly. So that's good for you to see so you'll know. I'll take those with my seam ripper, take them right out, and then do that again. But before, on the other side, I did a better job of holding the fabric flat. Here, because I was worried about this little wrinkle right there, so I'll just pull those out and then lay the fabric flat because you don't want to see background threads. That doesn't work. So anyway, I will do that. And actually, it might be easier to pull them out right here because you can see them pretty good. So, all right. And then when it comes time, I'll go ahead and tell you this while we're still here. I'm going to take and cut like the shape of the tree. I'm going to cut that out of batting. I will then glue it to the back of this, get another piece, a thin backing, and then I will be able to sew along the very edge of this and give that tree some roundness. I will not do that to the water or the sky, only to the mountain shapes and the trees. And I think that would look really cool because just a little bit of invisible thread stitching that I did has kind of rounded this tree. And I like things having a little shape. So there we go. Now, I think that's it for showing you this time. But I will consider, depending on how busy I get, I will consider doing a special live stream for anybody who's working on the landscape, because it is nice to be able to have y'all to question it. And I don't want to do it during our regular live stream, but we'll do a special. So one day when I'm like too sore to do any more painting, I'll say, hey, we'll plan a live stream and work on the landscape quilt. I need to tighten this up just a little bit. So now you would like to do a live stream for the landscape thread painting. Okay. So any of y'all, let's put the word out. Any of you who are working on this landscape, I mean, it's easy, ladies, and you can get a free pattern. I'll email it to you. You print it out. You've got your own pattern. This is a great first landscape to do. And you know what? It's still got enough detail to be really pretty. So come on and do it with me. And then what I'll do, everybody who I send a pattern piece and anybody else who wants to, I will schedule a live stream for the landscape. We'll call it the Landscape Club. All right, that's a great idea. And now, with our last few minutes, because I'm a tired girl, and I'm going to my daughter's at 6 o'clock for Thanksgiving dinner. Mark said, I think I'm just going to sit on the couch, honey. Is that okay? I was like, heck yeah, that's okay. You go for it. But you want to see how I do these trees? I would love to. That would be great. Okay. All. Thank you, Vicki. You got a very good husband. So, but anyway, any questions you have about any project you're working on, any suggestions you need, what can we do? You know what, Mark? He's a good one. I'm going to hold on to that man. You know, all things happen for a reason. And 15 years ago, when I thought my life was over, nope, somebody somewhere said, this woman needs a break. And they gave me Mark. So I'm so happy. Oh, boy, if he hears this, you know, his head's going to get huge. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and I was old Diana Wright's here. Hi, Diana Wright. Honey, just that you're here at all is a thrill. Don't worry. There are no reasons to feel guilty during our time to quilt. It's all fun. I sure will, Diana 57. In fact, Diana 57, you keep taking good care of yourself, sweetie pie. We definitely need you. So I didn't even see all who was here or anything today, but I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled you're all here. And, I babysat. Oh, I forgot to take a picture. I babysat my grand dog, Polly. And she's so much fun. You know, I call her the Taylor Swift of the dog world. And she's a standard white poodle with lemon ears. And she's just as happy and cute as she can be. So look at all these wonderful people. I also have another surprise. Nikki, it's a joy to see you here. You're so much fun, Nikki. And, Mariella, I love seeing you back. We missed you. And, is that a new name? Maureen Coles. Hi, Maureen. How are you? It is so good to see you. That's great. And, you know, anybody wants to join, I used to say our Yahoo group. We're now on Groups.io, and it's working out really well. Thanks to Busy Pat for changing over everything. I went ahead and deleted the Yahoo group. So if anybody needs an invitation, you can also go to Groups.io, go type in Our Time to Quilt, and you can ask me for an invitation. If you get overwhelmed by that, send me an email at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com, and I'll send you an invitation because we want you to join us. We have a lot of fun. We've become a real community, and it's nice to have a bunch of sisters. And I tell you, life as busy as it is, it's really nice. So please feel free. And, this is great. Trapunto is going to be so easy. You wait. You have a bottle of glue and scraps of cotton batting, and that's all you need. So I like to work with cotton better. It's less loft, and it's easier to get the stuffing just where you want. But, oh, my gosh, it's so good to see everybody. Yes, yes. Invisible thread's great. You have to have the right invisible thread and just and not be afraid of it, and you'll see. So it is so good to see everyone. And oh, another surprise I wanted to tell you about was that Tanya Morrison lives 45 minutes away from me, and she'd like to come and be on the live stream. So we'll plan that soon. That would be a lot of fun. Maybe I could even one day talk Polly into coming over. Miss the real Polly, not the grand dog Polly. Have her come over at some point. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see all of you. Well, if there are any other questions, and everyone, I hope you had a really nice Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a joyful holiday season. And it's one of my favorite. Christmas, I love Santa. I love Frosty the Snowman. I love the goodness in all of it. I'll be making sure to give a donation to our local food bank this year because that's something near and dear to my heart. I don't know if I ever told y'all, but when I first moved away from home at 18, I had to, and there's other reasons. But anyway, and I was going to college. I was trying to pay for myself to go to college and try to support myself. And there was a period of time, about 6 or 8 months, that I didn't have enough food to live on. And I, I started to say I look great, but no, I think I look emaciated. But I got a lot of comments or compliments. It's like, no, wait a minute, I don't look good. I'm hip bones, everything. But I know what it's like to go to bed hungry. And so the food pantry is one of my favorite charities. And so anyway, but take good care of yourselves. Do something special for you. Because if you did a lot of family stuff the last few days, you need a break. I mean, they're wonderful, but it's exhausting sometimes. So, oh, Diana, you know then, honey. You understand. You never forget hunger. You never forget hunger. And I had an aunt that went through the depression, and she used to the day she passed, she kept cans of food under her bed. And so hunger is something you never forget. But anyway, I can't wait because I'm going to be putting up Christmas lights after I paint kitchen cabinets and putting up Christmas lights and getting ready for Christmas. So that's going to be fun. And if you don't have people to spend Christmas with, will you come spend it with us? And we'll make sure that we do something fun. Okay. So anyway, guys, it was great to see you. Y'all are the very best. Thank you for all that so many of you do so much and to give back. Because like I always say, kindness is a gift that I know I've never said this before, but kindness is a gift that gives to everyone. I get as much from kindness as people who might receive it from me. And I know it probably works in reverse. So I just love you guys. I will be keeping you posted on the kitchen. And the sink is due in Wednesday. And we've got to run to the store to get it. And I can't wait to see if those backsplash tiles work. I've never done peel and stick. But you know what? I can do that because I'm in my 60s now. And I can do what I want. So y'all Judy Matasik is here. Oh, hi. Sorry we missed you earlier. Oh, y'all are the best. Y'all are just the best, best, best. So take good care. And I will see you next Sunday, December 8th. Oh my gosh. Can we handle this? I got to get ready for Christmas. Y'all are the very best. You mean so much to my heart, and you make my Sundays so much fun. So thank you. Take good care. Bye-bye, guys. I'll see you next week. Unless we have a live stream for our landscape. So send me an email. I'll send you a copy of the pattern. Bye-bye, guys. You are the best. Mwah. Thank you.